What I've seen a lot lately is that a lot of people don't know actually how to glue their miniatures onto the base. So I'm going to show you how I do it. I'm going to work with two models here, one of which does not fit in the base very well, which will be this little guy, but he actually shows what you should be carving off. And I'm going to go in here with my Dremel and smoothing his paws out first. We want to make sure that everything is nice and even before we start the next process. So I have a Dremel here. If you don't have one, that's okay, because something as simple as a piece of sandpaper will also get the job done just the same. Now that he's all cleaned up, I'm taking a makeup brush and kind of brushing off any of the little dusties, and I'm working on this one as this is the one I'm actually going to glue down right now because he fits more properly onto the base. You really want to get rid of those little extra dusties. That's not going to help anything with the gluing process, so I just use an old makeup brush and pretty much specifically use it for this reason. Now here comes the true important part, using an X-Acto knife, and as many of you probably already know, this is can be pretty dangerous, so you gotta be really careful. You're gonna want to sit there and score it out by pretty much making a hashtag type of symbol on it, and you're going to hashtag the crap out of the paws or whatever model that you're using. You want it to feel like a nice rough surface again. It should not be smooth. As you can see, I'm scraping my nail over it, and that's pretty much telling me that it's nice and rough, and I can move on to the next one. Every part that is going to touch that base needs to have a rough bottom surface. And then you're going to use your finger or your brush to kind of wipe off any of the excess after that. Now that this part is prepared, I'm going to place him on the base and figure out where exactly he needs to be standing on the base for it to work properly, and then remove the little protective film that my little bases come with. I know everyone has like their own way of marking it, but for me, I usually just dab a little piece of water, place it exactly where I want it to go, and then it leaves the couple beads behind. And now I know where I need to make my markings for the other part of this. And I'm going to repeat the same process, making pretty rough and kind of pressing a little bit with some pretty good pressure on there to make the little bit of a deeper hashtag type of symbol on it. And this is going to make sure that the glue adheres both pieces together. This is the most incredible, important part. And as you can see now, those hashtags are pretty decently like deep in there. There we go, perfect. That is what you're looking for. Now that everything is properly set, we are going to use whatever choice of super glue that you like and put that on the bottom of the paws. Now, you can just do this part and keep the glue on there, but I also happen to have an activator because I'm extremely impatient. So I want to get my stuff done now. And otherwise you might have to like prop this guy up against something and let him sit for a few hours before you can get started. But with an activator, I kind of like will spray the outside edge. And as you can see, he's already nice and stuck to his base, and those little kind of like fibers and the hashtags that we all made is going to help keep that glue very secure. I'm going to add a little bit of extra super glue just in case and spray a little bit more activator on it just to make sure he is set to go, because I kind of want this guy ready to go and paint, within the hour. As I said, I'm impatient. So if you have an activator, great. I also did the same exact process to this model right here. Her leg broke, so if you have pieces of resin that also break like that, you have to make little scratchies on them with your X-Acto knife for it to glue together, and it glued wonderfully. It's a very thin piece. Everyone who works with resin knows how fragile they are. Now that we have everything set, he is pretty much ready to be primed immediately. As you can see, his base is stuck on pretty good, and I've really never had issues with these coming apart. Honestly, I have more issues with the ankle snapping before the bases come off. You don't need to pin it. This is not a heavy model. Like, the only times you ever really want to need to do that is maybe with a heavier model, but I really haven't had too much luck with pinning. It's not my favorite thing, and it's a lot of extra work that I don't want to do. So this is my simple way of doing it, and let me know if it helped you. If you guys can do me a favor and you want to see more tips like this, drop me a comment or a like so it kind of gives me an idea that this is something maybe I should do more often for you guys.